door again.
We're back.
We're back. I'm Mark Berman. You're John P. Roberts. We're still at the Banff World Media Festival.
Still in our same clothes, same chair, same background. It's still light out.
You know, it's still, well, it's always light out
Yes,
there.
that's
When is
right.
it dark?
I don't think it darkens.
I don't think so. You know, I have to tell you something funny, because when you mentioned the whole VHR, whatever you call it, do you know that my first VCR, I'm not exaggerating, and I can't even fit it in my arms. It was like this big.
Yeah.
It was this high. It cost $600. I remember buying this.
Was it beta or was it VHS?
No, it was a regular VHS.
Okay.
And I remember it, and you're going to laugh. It had an attachment. It was a long, string, and this way you could watch it like this and stop it if you want. And the first show that I taped was, I'm not
dining up.
George and Wheezy, moving on up to Jefferson.
Oh my God!
And I remember watching this and thinking, wow, I can watch this. And now, when you mention, now you don't even get these. I have in my office at home stacks of the old, what do you call them, cassettes or whatever,
VHS cassettes
that are so. I have to do something because I don't watch them anymore.
You can get those transferred.
I could get, yeah.
But the crazy thing is, by the way, then technology came out with VCR Plus.
Right.
So you could start putting codes in then TV Guide to record those things.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, I was at Fox Family Channel at the time, and this company called TiVo came in to talk to us.
Sure.
And they said, and they showed us this DVR technology, and you realize, this is going to change the world.
Right.
And you keep on looking at this stuff. When I launched the very first website for FX and also for Fox. And I remember Ann Sweeney was running FX at the time, and I went into her office for a senior staff meeting that I was invited to show this, and I showed video on the internet, and her jaw dropped, and I remember her saying, "This is going to change everything," and that's when they greenlit this position for me to be this new web guy. And I remember the head of ad sales walking by my office, because now they have a new title, and I'm in charge of this website, and he goes, "Nice fake job you created." What do you mean? He's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when the internet disappears? It's like the CB radio. Well, I hope you're wrong. And even then, you couldn't, if you wanted to show video on the internet, and to think the standard modem was 14.4, you literally had to get 3 minutes of video, you'd pretty much have to walk away and go eat dinner and come back and it would be finally downloaded. So I look at technology as, what are we looking at today? There's always going to be gimmicky things. Like right now, I think what's interesting is right now Periscope and Meerkat, so this live streaming, everyone's talking about VR storytelling, and you start to say, okay, well, some of it is not mainstream yet, and some of it's going to be adapted, and how do you figure this type of these things out? I mean, whoever knew that, when YouTube first came out, it was all about just the most boring stuff. Whoever thought that all of a sudden these stars were going to emerge, and now all of a sudden there's a narrative, now YouTube has a staff of people that covers scripted, non-scripted, comedy, and kids. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. And so I think that we're in a world right now that is just really interesting.
It's interesting. It's exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking because, for somebody like me, one of the things I do a daily newsletter. I crunch ratings, and I have to look at shows, what's working, what's not working. So really to define a hit or a miss is really a very difficult thing to do because there's so many ways to look at different shows.
And that's it. And with Nielsen, you look at, this is now the Nielsen box. I mean, that's, kind of archaic in many ways.
Very.
And you start to figure out how is this going to evolve as well. So how do you take, live +3 or +7, and then you say, well, what about the streaming aspect of it? And what about binge watching?
Sure.
Later on, I just, my wife and I watched 7 seasons of Lost 2 years ago. Never seen it, and all of a sudden, and it was oh my God, it was amazing. And I don't know if I could have watched that week to week, waiting for the next thing. With Breaking Bad was the same way for me.
Sure.
I watch Walking Dead every Sunday. That I don't binge watch because I have to see it as soon as possible.
Sure.
But there are those shows that I can't imagine having to wait season to season or week to week.
Well, it's I mentioned I mentioned a couple of days ago. I mentioned 10 minutes ago in the other or the second or the first or whatever which one. The fact that you have these networks now that are they're putting stuff online before shows are premiering or while they're premiering, so you could technically watch them before you watch it on the network. In some ways, it gives you more attention. In other ways, it could hurt your traditional ratings, but there's no such thing as traditional anymore.
Well, it's so funny because I look for, so if I'm missing a show, so if I haven't seen something, I know that there's about 3 or 4 different avenues I can do. If I'm not finding it on demand, because I didn't DVR it.
Sure.
So it's not on demand. Then I know I can go to the over-the-top channel.
Right.
So like FX Now or Fox Now or whatever. If I can't find it there, well, then I can always go to the Apple Store and then buy them. So there's always like digitally, I will be able to find that show one way or the other. And that is what is going back to the idea of like anytime, anywhere, anyhow. I mean, it really is, this on-demand sensibility or expectation that, is really changes audience. Think about that.
It's crazy. And I mean, it's a hard question to answer, but do you have any guess what could possibly be next?
I feel like sometimes we're going full circle.
It's crazy.
Think about this, though, too, about the advertising. Like, when's the last time you watched a commercial? I mean, I literally have this down to an art, and my wife and I figure out, can I do 4-speed and click a button and then have it go right to the show?
Right.
If I was an advertiser, I would just put my logo up, knowing that someone's fast-forwarding through it. And like just keep the logo so at least you know who's sponsoring this program. But I think that in the future, I don't know, it's going to be really interesting because it's going to continue to be, people still want to be told stories, there's still a narrative, they still want to be entertained. It just comes down to how is it being paid for and who's providing that.
And you look at any reality show. My personal favorite at the moment. I've watched every episode of Survivor. It's been
you and me both.
I haven't missed it. Haven't missed an episode. And people say, "Oh, reality." But you know what? It's storytelling. It's a group of people. They have different backgrounds. They're put in a situation where they have to try to survive.
Almost sounds like real world. Oh, no.
It almost sounds like real world because it comes from the idea of the real world, which started the whole thing.
7 strangers get together.
So the people get together. So basically, it's reality. Technically, it's reality, but it really is drama. It's drama and comedy. It's dramedy.
It is. And by the way, look at how they integrate advertising into that show as well.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's seamless and
right. They're getting challenges. Oh, you could win. Whatever. And or watch The Voice and they're drinking whatever.
Or watch Amazing Race in the Ford Focus. It's like they have to park the car perfectly. It's really and it's genius because you guess what? If you don't like it, someone's paying for the show for you to enjoy.
Definitely.
And that's what I think. And I look at when you look at YouTube. What drives me crazy is you start to watch a commercial, and it's, 5 seconds, and you can skip the ad? Mm-hmm. So what's the other popular thing? Vine. Vine tells stories in 6 seconds. So why isn't, YouTube and Vine figuring out how to tell advertising better and learn how to tell an advertisement in 6 seconds? Because that's the attention span you have from that YouTube viewer. So advertisers should also be looking at how to tell their story in 6 seconds or less. Geico did a great job with that once.
Oh, Geico. I mean, Geico's had some of the best. I mean, they tell a story in, whatever. There also used to be a campaign. I maybe you could refresh your memory. A young couple. And every time there would be a new ad, and it would be like the next phase of the relationship. I don't remember what product.
Was it coffee? Was it coffee?
It was.
Yeah, Maxwell House.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is really brilliant because it's it's a commercial, but then again, it's a story.
It was brilliant, actually. You know what? And that's almost like that was before YouTube was mainstream.
Right. But I mean, again, it's a very exciting time. We have a lot of things coming up. I'll end this, and we've done 3 of these, and I thank you very much.
My pleasure. I really enjoyed this.
You have now broken the record because I've done about 700 of these.
Okay.
I think I should be a YouTube star, by the way.
I think you could.
I think I could be. I could talk about TV. So you're the first person I've had go to 3.
Well, thank you. It felt like 2 minutes. I really enjoyed it.
It's really awesome, but it's very exciting. And my perception, when people ask me, and they do all the time, is television as we once know it dead? No, I don't think it is. And
not at all.
Not at all, because you have a show like, for example, let's talk about NCIS.
Yeah.
It attracts older viewers, okay, but on a traditional week, it's going to bring in 18, 19, 20 million viewers.
Right.
That's a lot of eyeballs.
And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. The model may change,
right?
But that's where the operators and the networks have to figure that out.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, the viewer is still going to be rewarded.
Exactly.
My mom was a great example that she missed a show, and I said, "Oh, Mom, I can try to get it for you on DVD." She's like, "No, don't worry, honey. I watched it on my iPad." I'm like, wow.
Mom has an iPad.
And so it was interesting to say that this will, as the audience gets older, it won't matter.
And then the funniest thing is, and I challenge you to do this. I'm not going to, saying, not put ice water on your head. I challenge you to ask a college student or somebody in their early 20s, what is your favorite TV show? You know what they're going to say? Netflix. That's not a TV show.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
That's not a TV show. Because I write about TV, I don't want to know what people are watching. So I like asking people. So I'll ask you, what do you watch? Netflix. What's your favorite show? Netflix. That's not a show.
I know.
That's not a show.
It's crazy. And what I'll go further to, I ask my wife, I'll do the quiz sometimes, like, what network are your favorite shows on? Like, she loves The Bachelor. I'm like, what network? She's like, Fox? I'm like, no, I mean ABC. It's like, because we need, again, she knows that I create her schedule for her because she tells me what she wants to watch and I TiVo it.
It's amazing. Well, I congratulate you on your recent arrival over the company.
Thank you.
It's been 6 months. I wish you many years of success.
And let's keep in touch.
I would love to do this with you again.
I'd love that.
And I don't know if you go to NAPI or any of the other conferences, but I try to get around. I'd love to come to Copenhagen. That would be a nice place.
That's a great festival.
I would love to.
It really is.
But the Banff Festival's cool. I will be here till Thursday. When are you leaving?
I'm leaving Wednesday.
You're leaving Wednesday.
So I have this panel tomorrow to talk about short form.
Yes.
And
I'm moderating 2 panels. I wish I was doing one with you.
I do too.
Thank you. You are a very cool guy.
Have a good one.
I would like to work with you. Anyway, but that's a whole other conversation.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much.
You.
John P. Roberts.
Dun, dun, dun.
You have to put the P in. And I'm Mark Berman. We are in Banff, and I will be back tomorrow. Or technically, I'm going to put this up. This is really Friday, so I'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Or actually, well, we'll see. If it's not a great weekend, I hope you have one when it actually happens. Take care.